All right. Hi everyone for everyone who is just joining me now. So I don't have my Bluetooth earbuds today because I forgot to charge them. My bad. Oops. So if you can't hear me, let me know, and I will figure something out. So, but we're gonna get started. So everybody, go ahead and get yourselves set up if you haven't done so already. I would recommend grabbing a blanket, maybe even a bolster, because we're gonna start off in a heart opener. So you can lie in Shavasana, and you can lay on a block, or you can roll up a blanket and put that underneath your back, or if you need a little bit more, you can grab a bolster. And so everyone go ahead and get into Shavasana. We're just going to put that block or the blanket or bolster between your shoulder blades up at the top of your spine. And you can choose to put it vertically, horizontally, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Really, it depends on the day for me what I decide to do. Today I have it vertically, but some days I feel like I need it to be horizontally. So whatever feels good for you. We're just going to sit here in this slight heart opener, Shavasana, for a few minutes. Once you're there, start taking some deep breaths in and out. Maybe you channel into your Ujjayi breath, that subtle restriction at the back of the throat, the ocean sounding breath, the ocean waves. And if you don't know what Ujjayi breathing is, if you've never done it before and you don't feel comfortable trying it now, just feel free to breathe. Just breathe normally. Relaxing the toes, relaxing the feet, your calves, your shins, your kneecaps, your thighs, and the back of your thighs. Your abdominal muscles, your back muscles. Relax those shoulders down and away from the ears. Relaxing your arms, relaxing your hands. Relax that neck, relaxing the skin of the face, the muscles, the jaw. If there's any part of you that you know from previous experience that you need to constantly remind yourself to relax, focus on that area for a second. Relax it, and if you need to come back to it every once in a while, go for it. My area that I always tend to clench and constantly have to remind myself to unclench is my jaw. Even after I unclench it, when I focus on the rest of my body, I tend to clench it. So if you have any areas like that, focus on relaxing those areas, because likelihood is you're clenching it throughout your entire day. So focus on giving it a rest. Thank you for sharing your space with me. Today I would like everyone to set an intention. So whether that intention is primarily just to focus, maybe it is to relax. However, this is going to be a Vinyasa sequence, so there won't be a ton of relaxing, but maybe your intention is to relax your mind so that you're not thinking of everything that happened today, that you're going to do tomorrow. Maybe you have things to do after this yoga class. Let all of it go for this hour-long yoga sequence. For me, the yoga mat, I see it as my home. So if you think that that is a good intention for you to kind of hold on to today, I encourage you to see your yoga mat as your home or a version of it. Your yoga mat literally has your back in this moment. It's never going to betray you. It will always be there in times of need or in times of relaxation, in times of stress, in times of focus. So whenever you need to feel yourself grounding, whenever you need to ground yourself, I should say, find your yoga mat and let it be your home. On your next breath, slightly roll over to whichever side calls to you and remove that prop. If you were using a prop, if you were not using a prop, that's totally fine. Stay where you are. Just taking a couple more deep breaths in regular Shavasana. Getting our mind focused for what we will be doing today. And drawing the knees into the chest, hugging the legs or grabbing them, whatever is comfortable for you. Maybe you rock yourself side to side, giving yourself a little spinal massage. Maybe you grab onto the knees and give yourself some slow knee circles. This feels great on the lower spine. Give yourself that little massage. This much needed time and space for yourself. All right, and when you feel ready, we are going to rock and roll our way up to seated position. So I usually like to do 3 of these, but if you're feeling adventurous today, go ahead and do 5. If you're feeling less adventurous, maybe you just do 1 to rock yourself up to seated position. I always find those kind of fun. All right, once you are in seated position, I'm going to face you guys here. We're just going to be taking a few more deep breaths. So placing your hands on your knees, find yourself in a seated position, whatever seated position feels comfortable for you. Maybe you grab a blanket and sit on one of those, prop yourself up a little bit more. Maybe you have your ankles crossed, maybe you have one in front of the other, whatever feels good for you. Taking some deep breaths. Notice where you have placed your hands. This is always really interesting to me. Are your hands facing upward, palms upward, or are they facing down? Are you in more of a grounding state today, or are you welcoming all that is coming to you today, all that the universe has to offer? For me, this changes every single day. One day my palms will be pointed down because I need some more grounding. And other days, like today, without even realizing it, I pointed them up. So notice that for a second. As you're sitting here, do you notice any thoughts coming to your mind about things that have happened, things that are going to happen, things you need to do, family, friends, your to-do list? Acknowledge those thoughts, smile at them, recognize that they're there and that they have purpose and importance. And then try to quiet your mind. We're just going to let everything go for now. We can worry about that later. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Are you clenching anywhere? Are you clenching your jaw? Are you clenching your shoulders up towards your ears, or are you relaxing them? Pulling them down and back. Crown over spine, spine over pelvis. Grounded into the earth, rooted into the earth. And on your next inhale, we're going to inhale the arms up. And exhale, bringing them down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, raining them down. Inhale the arms up. And on this exhale, exhaling, twisting over to the right side. Maybe you anchor yourself with your left hand on your right knee. Maybe you're looking over your right shoulder. Maybe you're looking at the wall, or maybe you're still over here, whatever feels comfortable for you. We don't want to push ourselves into cranking our backs into a position that it's not ready to go into yet. Relaxing the shoulders down, making sure you're not pulling yourself too much with that left hand, just anchoring lightly. On your next inhale, inhale the arms up. And exhale to the left side, anchoring your body with your right hand on your left knee, only slightly, barely grabbing on. We're not pulling ourselves too much here. Looking off over your left shoulder. Or maybe you're looking over to the left wall. If you're outside, maybe you're looking over to a tree. Or maybe you're looking in front a little bit more. Wherever you're at today is perfect. Relax the shoulders, keeping that spine and head in one long straight line, so we're not bending any which way. On your next inhale, inhale the arms up. And exhaling the arms down, walking them slightly behind you into another slight heart opener. Not as much as we had before, but slightly. Breathing deeply, opening that chest, relaxing the shoulders down. Making sure not to pull or push ourselves too much. Just a slight heart opener. your hands a little bit more if that feels good. If not, don't worry about it. On your next inhale, inhale the arms up. And exhale, bring the arms down. We're gonna move into tabletop position. I'm gonna face this way now. So paying attention to our hands first, keeping your hands shoulder width distance apart. Suction cupping the hands down, the palms down. And we're rooting the base knuckles into the ground. So we're not creating this pocket of air in the palms. We're pushing all the corners of the hands into the earth, all corners of the palms into the earth. Pushing the earth away. So bringing the shoulders away from the ears so we're not punching over here. Bringing them away from the ears, down and back. Keeping the spine in one straight line. And if you need to check in your camera, go for it. We're going to move into, and keeping your knees hip width distance apart as well. Sorry, my bad. I almost skipped that part. So we're going to move into some cat and cow. So being really conscious of your movement here, moving with integrity. We're going to inhaling and dropping the belly down into cow pose. And exhale, rounding the spine into cat, pushing the earth away, dropping the head. That feels good. And inhale, dropping the belly into cow. And exhale, rounding the spine into cat, pushing the earth away. Now, moving with your breath, moving through cat and cow as it feels good and moves with your breath. Maybe you do some barrel rolls. Maybe you find some organic movement where you bump the hips off to one side and then the other, whatever feels good to you. And on your next exhale, we're going to exhale and the body up into down dog. So rounding or curling the toes under, we're going to just peel the legs slowly off of the mat. We're moving slowly into this first down dog as we just warm up the body. Maybe you pedal it out with your legs. Slowly adjusting to a spot that feels good. You can try to move your heels toward the earth if you want on this first one, or on this first one, maybe you would just have the knees bent, a really generous position. Working your body slowly into it. Pushing the earth away, making sure you're still suction cupping the hands, keeping the spine in one straight line, hips raised towards the sky. And on your next inhale, look towards the hands, step, hop, or float your feet up to meet the hands at the top of your mat. And inhale up into Ardha Uttanasana, sorry, I forgot the name of that. Into halfway lift, and exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhaling, arms come up into Urdhva Hastasana, and hands come down to heart, Namaste Tiki. Inhaling, arms come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold Uttanasana. Stepping the right foot back into a lunge, we're going to lower that right knee. And on your inhale, bringing the body up into Anjaneyasana. And exhale, plant the hands and step that left foot back into plank. In this plank here, we're just going to stay here for a second, paying attention to what our body is doing. So making sure we are relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, or as much as they can, and spreading the shoulder blades on your back, planting the hands, suction cupping those in, and maybe you bounce back and forth a little bit to push those heels back towards the back wall. And on your exhale, chaturanga, and inhale into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, or upward facing dog. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. On your inhale, inhale the right foot up, and exhale, bringing it through to meet the hands at the top of your mat. Lower that left knee, and on your inhale, bring the body up into Anjaneyasana on the other side. Exhale, plant the hands, bringing that left foot up to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhaling, hands come up into Urdhva Hastasana, and exhaling, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, hands up, Urdhva Hastasana, bringing the hands through the body, fold down into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhaling, plant the hands and step the right leg back, lowering that right knee, bringing the upper body up on your inhale into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping that left foot back into plank, and exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up and bring it through to meet the hands at the top of the mat. On your exhale, lower the left knee, and inhaling, body comes up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the left foot up to meet the right, and inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step the left foot back this time into lunge, lowering that left foot onto the ground, and bring the body up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back into plank, lowering the chaturanga, and inhale through to upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, lifting the left leg up, bringing it through to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Exhaling, lower the right knee, and inhale, bringing the body up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the hands, steps the left foot back into plank, lowering down into chaturanga, and inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. On your inhale, look towards the hands, step, hop, or float yourself to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bringing the hands through down to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back into lunge, bringing the left knee down. On your inhale, bring the body up into Asana. And exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back to meet the left. And lowering down into Chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, bring the left leg up and bring it through to meet the hands at the top of the mat, lowering the right knee. Inhale, bring the body up into Asana. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping that left foot back into plank, exhaling into Chaturanga and inhaling into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog. Staying here for a few breaths. Paying attention to those hands, those feet. Lifting the hips towards the sky. Paying attention to your arms. We're pointing those elbow creases towards the front of the mat. So rounding the biceps underneath and towards your ears. On your next inhale, look towards the hands, step, hop, or float your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, arms come up into Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, arms come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the right leg back this time into your lunge, lowering the right knee. And on your inhale, bringing the body up, arms come up into Asana. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping the left foot back to meet the right, lowering down into Chaturanga, and inhale into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg and bring it through to meet the hands at the top of the mat. Exhale, lowering that left knee, and on your inhale, bringing the body up into Asana. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping it back into plank. Exhale, the body down and inhaling it. Inhaling through to Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Staying here for a couple breaths. On your next inhale, look towards the hands. Exhaling, step, hop, or float the legs, the feet up to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, arms come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back into lunge, lowering that left knee down to the earth and placing the top of your foot onto the mat. Bringing the body up on your inhale into Asana. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back to meet the left, lowering down into Chaturanga and bringing the body through into upward facing dog on your inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your inhale, look to your hands. Exhale, step, hop, or float your way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. We're going to now move into tree pose. So whichever leg you feel more comfortable moving into first. I'm going to start off with my right leg. So grounding down through your left foot or right foot, depending on which leg you decide to do first. Making sure you're grounding through all four corners of the foot, but we're not sinking into that hip. So bringing integrity through the left side of your body, lifting up through that hip, lifting up through the spine, slowly bringing the leg up. Maybe you simply put it near your ankle. Maybe you just balance right here, and this is your tree pose. Maybe you bring it up into the calf here, and this would be your tree pose. Maybe you go the extra step and you bring it in to your thigh right here. The thing that we want to make sure we're not doing is putting any pressure on that knee. We don't want to throw out that knee. So no part of your foot should be over the part of your knee, over your kneecap area, or the inside of your knee, I guess. So we're going to stay here in tree pose for a few breaths. Lifting up through the sternum, through the chest, bringing the shoulders down and back. Maybe you simply have the hands down. Maybe you place them on the hips. Maybe you are balancing out here, or maybe you have them raised above your head. Whatever feels good to you. I'm going to keep them down here because I am still working on this pose. You might be feeling a burn in your shin, in your calf muscles, that lower part of your leg. That's perfectly fine, that's good. If at any time it starts to hurt too badly, maybe you just step onto that right leg and shake it out a little bit. And then bringing it back up. Taking deep breaths, focusing on your breathing. All right, and stepping back out of tree pose. Shake out that left leg, that left foot a little bit. I always feel a very deep burn in my shin. All right, and when you're ready, moving to your other leg, whatever leg that is, making sure we're not dumping into the hip, keeping integrity through the leg, keeping a straight line through the torso, the upper body, and through the leg. Grounding down all four corners of the foot, and slowly bring your knee or your foot to wherever it is you feel most comfortable. So maybe that's keeping it down here by your foot. Maybe it's on your shin. Maybe it's up. Maybe you grab your leg or your foot. Excuse me, I can't think of the word foot apparently today. And bring it up into your thigh. Again, the most important thing when you're bringing your foot up to a position is not to put it anywhere near your knee. So you don't want to throw out that knee. Keeping integrity through your grounded leg. Maybe you have the hands down. Maybe they're out. Maybe you've got them forward. Maybe they're on the hips. Maybe they're up here. Wherever you're at today is perfect. Opening that chest, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, making sure we're not rounding, giving ourselves a sassy booty. So trying to keep that spine as straight as possible. And when you're ready, bringing that foot down and shaking out that leg that you were standing on. Maybe roll the ankle a few times. All right. We're gonna, if you are not still at the front of your mat, step up to the front of your mat. And inhale, reaching the arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to heart, Namaste Chihi. Inhaling the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bringing the hands through the body, down to the ground, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Planting the hands, step the feet back into plank. Exhaling, Chaturanga, and inhaling into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Staying here for 5 breaths. Paying attention to those biceps again. Are you rounding them down underneath your arms, rounding them towards your ears? Your inner elbow creases should be facing towards the front of your mat. Shoulders away from the ears, planting all the corners of the hands. And on your inhale, look towards the hands, step, hop, or float your way up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. And inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to heart, Namaste. Inhale, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Maybe you grab onto your elbows, maybe you swing back and forth a few times. On your next inhale, plant the hands and halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, plant the hands, stepping back to plank, down into Chaturanga, and inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift that right leg up into three-legged dog, and exhale, bringing it through to meet the hands at the top of your mat. Planting that back foot and pointing it parallel toward, keeping it parallel toward or with the back of your mat. Inhaling, bring the body up into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Hold here for a few breaths. We're trying to get this leg into a 90-degree angle. If it's not there today, that's perfectly fine. Wherever you're at today is perfect. Shoulders away from the ears. Chest pointing towards the front of your mat. Strong abdominal muscles. And on your next exhale, exhaling, plant the hands, stepping that right foot back to meet the left, and exhaling into Chaturanga. Inhale, bringing the body through into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, fold, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift the left leg up this time, and exhale, bring it through to meet the hands at the top of the mat, planting that back foot and bringing the body on your inhale up into Virabhadrasana 1 on the other side, or Warrior 1. Staying here for a few breaths. Lowering those shoulders away from the ears. Strong integrity in the arms. Working towards a 90-degree angle, or your version of a 90-degree angle. Chest pointed towards the front of the mat. On your next exhale, plant the hands, stepping the foot back to meet the right, and lowering down into Chaturanga, inhaling through into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, and exhale, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, look towards the hands, step, hop, or float your way up to the top. Inhaling, halfway lift, and exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, arms come up, Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to heart, Namaste. Inhaling, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring the hands through, down into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Planting the hands, stepping the feet back into plank position, lowering down into Chaturanga, and on your inhale, bring the body through into upward facing dog. Exhale down into Adho Mukha Svanasana, into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg up and bringing it through on your exhale to meet the hands at the top of your mat, laying that back foot. On your inhale, bring the body up into Virabhadrasana 1. And exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back to meet the left, lowering down into Chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, lift that left leg. And exhale, bringing it through to meet the hands at the top of the mat, planting that back foot. Inhaling the body up into Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, plant the hands, step the foot back to plank, lowering down into Chaturanga. Inhale, into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Staying here for a few breaths. On your inhale, look towards the hand, step, hop or float your way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold Uttanasana. Inhale, hands come up into Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to heart, Namaste. Inhale, hands up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bring the hands through and fold into Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana, sorry. And exhaling, plant the hands, stepping or hopping back into plank position, lowering down into Chaturanga, and inhale through to upward facing dog or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhaling that left leg up this time, and exhaling, bringing it through to meet the hands at the top of the mat, lowering that back foot. Inhale, body comes up into Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. On your next exhale, opening the body up into Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. Keeping the body stacked, head over heart, heart over pelvis. Bringing the shoulders down and back. I should have done the left leg so I could face you. I apologize. Looking over your front fingers, right over the tips of your fingers. We're going to slightly lean forward, reaching forward, turning the front palm up, and reaching back into reverse warrior. And exhale, pinwheeling the arms down and planting the hands, step the feet back into plank pose. Exhale down into Chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. This time, the right leg comes up and bringing it through to meet the hands at the top of your mat, planting that back foot, inhaling the body up into Virabhadrasana 1 or Warrior 1. And then on your exhale, opening the arms up, opening the body up to Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. Looking over those front fingertips, keeping the head over heart, heart over pelvis, working towards that 90-degree angle, making sure that you can see your big toe and your second toe at least, so that we're not bringing the knee too far forward. On your next inhale, inhale, slightly moving forward, flipping that palm up, and exhale into reverse warrior. And exhale, bringing windmill the hands back through down into plank, stepping that right foot back into plank to make the left, exhaling chaturanga, inhale into upward facing dog, or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, look towards the hand, step, hop, or float your way to the top. And inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands come up into Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Inhaling, hands come up, Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, bring the hands through and down into Uttanasana, walking the legs out into hip width distance apart, and just sitting here in Uttanasana for a second. Maybe you grab onto those elbows and swing back and forth. And then on your inhale, bring the body up into halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant the hands, stepping back into plank and lowering the body, lowering the knees down to the ground into a supported plank, and slowly lower down into chaturanga on your exhale, down to the belly and your chest. Keeping those palms by your rib cage, by your chest, we're going to lift slightly into baby cobra, making sure we're not cranking too much on that back, moving as far as we feel comfortable, not clenching the glute muscles, making sure those are relaxed and grounding the tops of our feet into the earth. Lowering down on your exhale, resting one of your cheeks on the ground. Inhale, and on your exhale, bringing it back up into baby cobra. And exhale down. On your inhale, pushing it back into child's pose. Spreading the knees wide, about as wide as your mat, or if you feel more comfortable, keeping them together in front of you, whatever feels more comfortable. And lowering the upper body down through your knees. You can rest your forehead on the mat. You can rest one of your cheeks on the mat. Relaxing that whole upper body down into the earth. Maybe you work your chest down so that it's touching the ground. Maybe you grab a block and support yourself like that. Maybe you have a block here that you can rest your forehead on. Inhale, bring the body up into tabletop. Cross your ankles and roll over your feet, or make your way into a seated position. However you get there is perfect. Okay, we're going to move back into, we're going to move our feet into in front of us, knees up towards the ceiling. We're going to move into bow pose. So boat pose, excuse me. So I am still struggling with this, but we're going to make sure we're keeping our back straight, chest open, chest lifted, and shoulders away from the ears. You can lift one foot after another, lifting them up. Maybe if you're working towards this, maybe you just lift one, and then maybe you work on lifting the other. Whatever you're at today, maybe you have them both legs all the way up. I cannot do this, so I can't show you how. But we're just working on making sure we're keeping our abs strong, our back straight, keeping that core strong. Arms can be out here, arms can be up, wherever you feel most comfortable. Maybe you have them grabbed onto your legs here for more support. I'm actually going to sit here for a second because I struggle with this pose quite a bit. And on your exhale, lowering back down. We're going to make our way down onto our backs and bringing one knee up into your chest, whichever knee you would like to do first. Rounding the spine, pulling the nose towards your knee, and exhale, head comes down. Bringing the arms out, next, spreading them next to your chest, and roll into a spinal twist so that your, if your left knee is up, bring it over the body. So we're doing this nice spinal twist, but trying to keep the spine still in one straight line. You can maybe look over your left shoulder or whatever, whichever shoulder your opposite is of your leg. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words here. Where you're working that opposite shoulder down into the earth. So making sure it's not coming up like this, but lower and pushing it, lowering it down into the earth, grounding it. On your next inhale, inhale both the knees up, hugging knees into your chest, nose can come up towards the knee, and lowering back down. Opposite knee can stay up at the chest and lowering that other leg down straight out from the body. And bringing the arms out, again, straight out from your body, bringing that right knee over across your body into a yummy smile. Looking over that right shoulder and pushing it down into the earth. And on your inhale, bringing the knees back up into center, hugging them back into the chest for a second. And exhale, bring the feet down to the earth. We're going to move into bridge. This can be a restorative pose or not, whatever your choice is. If you would like it to be a restorative pose, you can grab a block or a blanket, and you can just put it underneath the base of your spine here, underneath your glutes, and raising the hips up, just resting there. If you don't have a block, if you don't want to make this a restorative pose, we're planting the hands, planting the arms down, bringing the knees into the glutes, and lifting those hips up, making sure we're not clenching the glute muscles, pulling those inner thighs together, And exhale, one vertebrae at a time, lower down to the earth. We can take one more, pulling the knees into the chest. Maybe you take a happy baby. Whatever pose feels good to you right now. Maybe you do a headstand. Whatever you would like in these last few moments before we do Shavasana. And when you're ready, bring the legs down and lowering the legs down to the earth, toes pointed towards the ends, the edges of the corners of your mats, relaxing your arms and your hands down. Thinking about that intention one more time that we set at the beginning of this sequence. Reminding yourself that your yoga mat is a version of a home. Literally has your back right now. Your yoga mat will always have your back. Take comfort in the fact that it's not going anywhere. Relax your toes. Relax the arches of your feet, your heels, your calf muscles, your shins. Relax your kneecaps. Relax your thighs. Relax your pelvis, your abdominal muscles, your back muscles. Relax your shoulders down and away from the ears. Relax your biceps, your triceps, your forearms. Relax your wrists, your palms, your fingers. Relax the neck. Relax your ears. Relax your neck, your jaw. Relax your mouth. Feel your tongue hang in the back of your mouth. Relax your eyes, letting your eyeballs float in the back of the head. Relax your cheeks, relax your eyebrows, your forehead, letting the skin hang loose on the face. Relax the crown of your head. Reminding yourself of that intention one more time. And then let it all float away. This is your Shavasana. Enjoy. Slowly blink the eyes open. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe you roll the head from side to side. Giving yourself a yummy massage on the back of the head, rolling that neck out a little bit. Bring the knees up into the chest and keep the eyes closed if you choose to. And rolling over to whatever side calls to you into a fetal position, into this position of new beginnings. Using your hand, your arm to push yourself up into a seated position. You can keep your eyes closed. You can have a soft gaze. Whatever you're feeling like. Bringing the hands into the heart. Taking a couple more deep breaths. And then drawing that line from the heart up into the third eye. Bringing your hands up to the third eye. Maybe you give yourself a slight massage in between the eyebrows. Thank you, yogis, for sharing your space and your practice with me. The light in me forever honors and cherishes the light in you. Deep bows of gratitude. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining me tonight. I hope you could all hear me okay. I'll see you again next time. Bye.